Hello, Teacher Maria here with a video that's probably going to make some people angry. And I've really debated a lot about whether or not I should produce this video or not. But it's something that I think really needs to be said. VIPKID is not a miracle job. It is a regular job. It is a job where you are expected to wake up, show up, and perform. And I feel like I see a lot of people complaining about that on different social media platforms. That means on Facebook, on the Hutong, and on Freshdesk. And of course, the important thing to remember is that unhappy people don't comment on things like social media posts. And they certainly don't respond 5,000 times. Only unhappy people take the time to really make that comment. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. But really, if you're a new teacher, you may think that there are 20,000 miserable teachers working for VIPKID. And that is not the case. I would say there are probably maybe 2,000 miserable teachers. And I'm going to explain to you why they're miserable in this video and why I think they have been led astray or are being irresponsible about it. So the first thing I wanted to address is the bookings problem. And I know that there are a lot of new teachers out there who are really busting their butts to try and get bookings. And I understand it. And a lot of you have done so much and you still don't seem to get results. And that really hurts me because I want you to love VIPKID as much as I do. However, the important thing to remember is that VIPKID does not guarantee bookings. You're an independent contractor, and they never promised you that you would get X many bookings a month or make the X many dollars. It's really all on you, and a lot of it has to do with luck. And there are a lot of people out there asking VIPKID to justify and explain the booking disparity. VIPKID has no obligation to do that because you're an independent contractor and they never promised you anything. So new teachers really need to come into this with that perspective of, I am here to try something new, and if it works, great, and if it doesn't work, great. Do not quit your day job before you build a schedule with VIPKID. That's just a poor life decision. You're not guaranteed anything. And on top of that, just because I'm a worrywart and I think about things like this, what if, say, relations between the US and China go south and suddenly VIPKID can't be a thing anymore? And that, you've just poured your entire life into that. So don't think that you can just start this job and suddenly be a full-time employee. Which brings me to my second point. This is not a full-time job. It was never meant to be a full-time job. It was not designed to be a full-time job. And while I totally respect and admire people that have turned this into a full-time job, I am certainly working full-time hours. Remember, you don't have benefits, and there is no difference between a full-time employee and a part-time employee. You have no additional rights or benefits or anything else. So when people apply to this job expecting it to replace, say, their brick and mortar job, someone has led you astray because that is not what this company was ever designed to be. So the only people that can really do this full time are people who are already married and have a spouse that has benefits or already makes enough money that they can afford to purchase benefits on their own. Because as much money as you really can make on being a VIPKID teacher, you're going to lose a lot of that money to purchasing benefits if you, for instance, live in the United States where healthcare is not available to us for free. And then the third comment I want to make is about their cancellation policy. Now, the way their cancellation policy works is that you have 7 chances in a 6-month contract to not screw up. And I've already used one of my 7 screw-ups because I missed a class on my worst morning at VIPKID ever. If you're interested in that, please go watch that video. So I have 6 more chances in the next 6 months not to screw up. And I think that's really generous. And you will see people commenting, especially on Freshdesk, about how the cancellation policy is too strict. And even I've seen people argue that it's particularly harsh against full-time teachers. Well, I already addressed that. If you are working for VIPKID full-time, you have put all of your eggs in a basket that is not designed to carry all of your eggs, if you know what I mean. So you do not get more cancellations just because you're working full time, which apparently some people expect that. The other thing is 7 cancellations / no-shows in a 6-month period is a lot. I have been a manager of people in retail before, and if somebody didn't show up for their shift maybe 2 or 3 times, I would have fired them. The fact that they give us 7 chances is really generous. And this doesn't teach. So I don't really understand how people are struggling so much with this concept, except for the fact that they expect VIPKID to be a miracle job. And that's the 4th point I want to make. VIPKID is not a miracle job. This is not going to solve all of your financial problems, all of your timing problems, all of your scheduling problems. It's still a job. You have a responsibility to show up. You don't get paid if you don't show up, and VIPKID doesn't get paid if they don't show up. So it is really important that you actually show up. And 7 hard cancellations. Now, that is a late cancellation. That means that you did not give them 24 hours of notice before letting them know that an emergency has happened. So, hypothetically speaking, let's say that a family member dies. That first day might be considered a hard cancellation, but that's only one day. The next day is a soft cancellation because you have informed them that there has been a death in your family. And the people at VIPKID are human beings, and they're very compassionate, and I've had nothing but positive experiences with them. Listen, I threw up in class once. I threw up in class, as in I turned off the camera, ran to the trash can, and projectile vomited across the wall. And the fireman was so nice. She sent me some roses, which you'll learn they like to send roses to the teachers, and said, "Do not worry, teacher, everything is okay. Are you okay?" They were concerned about me, and they were not concerned about the fact that I had to leave my desk for 30 seconds in order to puke. And which, by the way, I only was gone for 30 seconds. I actually made it back to class and stayed for the rest of the class. So I definitely deserve employee brownie points for that. Sorry, independent contractor brownie points for that. So I'm not sure where the concept that VIPKID is extremely harsh and that you can expect to lose your job because there's been a medical emergency and you've been hospitalized, or because there's been a death in your family. I don't believe that happens. If it does happen, I think it's something that was lost in translation, and or it is a compounding of several issues with the teacher. So I just really wanted to make this video because I hate seeing people talk down about this company when they do such a good job. They are so generous with us, and I think there are just a lot of misconceptions about what it means to be a VIPKID independent contractor. So take it with a grain of salt, and just keep in mind that you are responsible for your business, not them. And they have only given you an opportunity, and it is your responsibility to take it. So thank you for listening to me rant today. And I hope that this video has not angered too many people, although I have a feeling it will. I'm sure we'll see lots of angry comments in the comments on this video, but people that agree surely will not comment. So thank you. Have a wonderful day. And I hope this clears up a couple things for new teachers that are maybe still getting into the hang of how VIPKID works. Thanks, and have a great day.